Hey, it says we're live.
It does. And we're going to go like this. Go live. We're live. We're going live like right now as we speak.
Wow.
Yeah. So what's been going on, man?
Wow, it's been a crazy, crazy summer.
Yeah, same here.
To say the least.
I've enjoyed having a few weeks off from the podcast, and for me, like August, like I purposely didn't take a lot of events in August for
Right.
family. We want to spend time with family, and August is usually dead anyway. Especially with like a lot of the events, like the heat that comes in August. I hate schlepping stuff through the heat, so call me a wimp. But that's me. So like, tell me about your August. What's been going on?
So
Summer.
This was the busiest August I've had in a long time.
Okay.
Between the photo booth stuff and I had a couple of DJ events.
Yeah.
It was busy. I've noticed over the last couple months, more so, I get a lot of last minute calls for like this weekend or next week, not, people planning events. I mean, I'm getting calls for, now I'm starting to get calls for the holiday parties and things like that. So, for December.
Yeah, I had one today. Got one for this weekend, and I'm like, booked up. So and literally just like minutes ago, before I was jumping on here. So, are you booked up this weekend?
I am, and
you are.
And October is crazy.
Yeah, we got someone else here.
Hey, we got a visitor. We got our friend Danny.
It's like, welcome back.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing good. We were just talking about
always doing good. You're looking good.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I mean, I saw your picture of Danny. I saw your protein refrigerator. That's awesome.
I've been going full steam with the weight loss lately.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we both. So Dave, we were at the expo at the DJ Expo in August, and I had lost 30 pounds by that point. Now I'm actually down to 40. But Danny and I looked at each other and we talked about the jackets that we had at the Photo Booth Expo and how they just don't fit, and it still doesn't quite fit after I've lost 40 pounds. But we looked at each other and we made a promise to each other: by February, we're going to fit into those jackets.
Yep. Yeah. I put mine on the other day too to try and see how it fits, and I can actually zip it up, but it does not look good. I can zip it up at this point.
Oh my God. But yeah, so we were just talking about like this the summer, and I've been going crazy with just taking a step back, right? And looking at my whole business, looking at all the equipment that I've got, looking at the lighting. Last week I took out I took the camera out of the DSLR booth, and I took it to a farmer's market. I'm like, I'm just gonna play with the camera. I'm gonna reteach myself the settings and just have fun with it. And it's been refreshing, to say the least.
Nice
to do that kind of stuff.
What camera?
The T5, just a camera T5.
Yeah. Still a great camera, really. It
is. I am thinking of upgrading though to the R100. Just newer. And I know that's what you have in most of your stuff now, right?
I have an R100 and I have an R50.
Okay.
And they're basically, and as far as I can tell, for photo booth use, they're both about the same quality. The only difference is the R50, you need an additional hot shoe adapter to connect it to a flash because there's no firing pin. So you have to get this extra Canon hot shoe, and you stack two of them on top of each other in the R50. It's kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
So I use my R50 in our Pro because you don't need an additional light or anything with it. And then in our booths, I've been using the R100, and they've actually been great. The autofocus is great. The quality is good. And I've been told that Canon is getting rid of all of their DSLRs, and they're going completely mirrorless with everything. So
that's good to know.
Yeah, that's kind of the wave of the future. Is they're getting away from that shutter and everything, inside, and going over to the mirrorless.
But Dave, what are you using right now?
I've got the 50, and I have a couple of T5Is.
Okay.
Okay.
The R50 or the M50?
M50, sorry.
M50, yeah. M50 is still a good camera too. It really
Yep.
is. I have one of those as well.
So now the M50 is not, they're not selling those new anymore, or am I
That's
mistaken?
discontinued. Yeah, they have the Mark
Okay.
1 and the Mark 2. The Mark 2 is now discontinued as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I mean, it's a solid camera. The images that are coming out of them, customers love, and I can definitely see a difference between the mirrorless and the mirror cameras.
Really?
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that sells me on, because previously, and I think a lot of us are guilty of that, of just going out and buying stuff. And this is one of the years where I'm like holding back on buying anything new fast, right? I'm taking more time to do my research and try things out and get opinions from other people. So yeah, so that kind of and the R100 is what I've been leaning towards. Price wise,
I think it's what, $499 or something like that, right?
you can get them like renewed on Amazon. I think I'm sure there's other sites too.
Yeah.
For like $379.
Oh, that's I mean,
I know.
you,
Yeah.
you can't get just like a T5 for that anymore, or any of those.
Mhm.
So that's a no-brainer right there. Yeah.
And I'm sure Black Friday sales are going to come, but I don't think I'm going to wait for the Black Friday sale, because I want to upgrade my all of my DSLR boosts to that camera.
Yeah.
And also I'm going to take out the Surface Pros. I'm going all iPad. I'm going iPad camera. It's just, I just love, not this is a plug for Curator, but it's the software that I use. But that's what I've been playing with. Even off of my phone, I can run Curator on my phone and tell it to a camera. That's what I was doing at the farmer's market, just like testing around with that. It's just so great.
Yeah.
And any software that has a DSLR capability. For me, I don't use a lot of the stuff that's in the PC based computers anymore. I find like a lot of my clientele don't really care for all these crazy droplets and all that kind of stuff. I'm not doing big corporate events and have to wow anybody. Most of my stuff is like your simple weddings, your galas and stuff like that, where they don't care. They just want regular pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
So an iPad is so much easier to train. And I think more reliable than a PC.
I love iPads and I love iPad boosts. The one downside is printing is a little bit more difficult, in my opinion.
It is. Yeah.
But does that counteract the other pros and cons? And I don't really know the answer, but I will tell you this: most of my photo booths are running iPads now, so that probably does answer the question.
Yeah, I've gotten the wireless printing down to a science now. I've got an external router that I'm using at every event, whether there's venue Wi-Fi or not. I'm loading up my own router, so that way I'm always going to be printing. I'm not going to have any problems with that.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's something I'm doing. And you guys might have seen my post. I've been working on analytics for just the industry. And Dave, you were talking about how you had a busy August. I didn't have a busy August, but part of my research was taking all of the leads that I had over the last 3 years, and I combined it with another company's leads, and actually had the chance to take a look at another CRM behind the scenes of Check Cherry, right? Kind of just showed me the bar charts of all the clients in the CRM. I didn't get to see who they were, but it mimicked the same exact trends that I saw from a month-to-month period.
Yeah.
And not events done, but when leads come in, right? And August was one of the lowest months of the year. August and December for the last 3 years across the board were the lowest. Now, some people commented on my post that, well, I did great in August. I'm like, that's good, because not every market, every company is going to follow those exact trends.
Yeah.
But it was interesting seeing every company, when you combine them all together, that you saw those kind of trends happening. So I posted don't panic, because a lot of people see the same thing.
I would say for new leads, I saw a drop in new lead requests.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
So that did drop, but booking wise,
the
August,
repeat business.
the repeat business and my August fills up from other months.
Mm-hmm.
So, but as for requests and things like that, yeah, it's always traditionally been a slow request month.
Yeah, I think.
September's also kind of,
Well,
I see
I
it.
thought
I see a
I
lot
thought about that.
after
Yeah,
the holiday. Yeah.
and I think exactly because you get the holiday there, plus people are coming back from vacation, schools are starting up, so you've got to get that whole new routine going. Um, and because everybody's got a new routine, usually those meetings, like those corporate meetings, stuff like that, don't the decision maker's not there that first week because they just got back from vacation. They got a lot of stuff to catch up on. But you're right, September is a lower month, but I think it's the mid-September on. Like this week, I started seeing leads like pop in like every day. So it's kind of following that trend.
Great.
What about sales wise of equipment, Danny? Like, do you see a similar trend that happens when people buy things or?
It is somewhat seasonal for us, but it kind of levels out. I'm trying to think back. Yeah, how was August for us? Well, we had DJ Expo, so that always, whenever we have a trade show, there's always a bump.
Yeah.
Now what we're seeing is a lot of people reaching out to us saying, I need a photo booth immediately because they have all the fall events coming. And we're able to do that. I got an order at 1:10 today and was packed up by 2:30 to go out the door.
That's good.
That was actually a DJ booth, but photo booth's the same thing. So what I am finding is that it's a lot of last minute stuff now because it's people realizing, oh, I just booked this extra event. I need another photo booth. Or, they're into the season now where they can't wait 4-6 weeks, in order to get a photo booth, so that's why, that's what I'm finding is that's what we're looking at now.
Okay. What about trends wise of like, so your photo booths, is the Curve still your most purchased one right now, or is it leaning towards more the Pro because of the DSLR iPad integration?
So the Curve is a really general term for any photo booth we have that has that curved column.
The Duo, I meant the Duo, sorry.
Yeah. So if we're looking at the Duo, I'm selling a lot more of the Pro version of that with the DSLR camera. Pretty much most of my sales lately for that booth has been for the Pro. So that's kind of the direction I think it's going. And I love the Pro, but I like all of our booths. But one of our, the Curve DSLR, which both of you guys own, is still one of our best-selling booths. And I've had it, hasn't really changed in probably like 4 years, despite, faceplates, so for different devices, but the actual booth itself really hasn't changed. And that's still one of our best sellers.
Well, that's the best part of it. And again, I'm not trying to sell. I mean, it's just, I love it because when something changes, you're able to swap things out, right? If I'm going from Surface Pro to iPad, say, hey, Danny, I need a new front plate to fit the iPad. It's like, all right, that's all. The only thing I have to swap out, I have to buy a whole new booth.
Yeah. That one plate, they're $225, and you could basically a brand new booth then. Yeah. And we do get a lot of orders just for faceplates for people that are upgrading their booths. I am still getting orders occasionally for our faceplates for our original tuxedo booth that we sold in 2018. Literally still getting faceplate orders for that, right?
That says a lot. Yeah.
So, and that's one of the things we made sure that you'll always be able to upgrade your booth with us. Even though we discontinued that model 4 or 5 years ago, you can still get a faceplate for it.
What about, so I'm going to ask you a question here. So like trends wise, actually, let's talk, Dave, trends wise, I'm seeing on the Facebook groups a few things happening. I'm seeing the wooden vintage is starting to come up a lot as a new offering. It's not really new, but more people are interested in it in terms of photo booth owners. And the enclosed booths, there's been some chatter on that more so than the past lately too. How are you seeing that in your requests, or what's the temperature check on those in your mind?
Not seeing the retro, we'll call them the retro booths.
Yeah.
Like the wooden ones.
Yep.
I don't think it's out there enough. A lot of the weddings that I book, like the sleek, modern, white, booths, like I have like from Danny and others like Min Booth, things like that.
Mhm.
Have I thought about adding one? Yeah. Do I think I need it? No.
No. Yeah.
As for the enclosed, I've always offered open or closed to all my customers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've always done like the pipe and drape enclosed booths, and I also have the inflatable.
Okay, you do have the inflatable. I've been seeing that pop up again too.
Yep. I have both, and that they both, people like the open mostly.
Yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
to me.
They want to cram
But
20 people in there.
Right. And when I talk to people, I just let them know, listen, it's a matter of what you want for your guests. Your friends and family. I say the closed booths like Vegas, what goes on in there stays in there. And you're more inclined to get some not so public photos in the enclosed booths. But then again, I've also had similar situations in the open booths too. So
I had that this summer. This summer. It was like a full moon out. So
yeah.
We're talking a long time ago when I was just doing rentals. We did a wedding. The best man or one of the groomsmen literally pulled down his pants.
Oh my God.
Everything right from the front. Printed everything. And then he took a copy of that and pasted it into the scrapbook for the bride and groom. And
that's great.
We went up to the bride and said, listen, one of your groomsmen took a fairly inappropriate photo. It's in the book. We didn't remove it, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. She's like, it's not anything I haven't seen before, was the response.
Yeah.
So I have one like that a long time ago where the maid of honor, the bride's sister, her nickname was Tits McGee. Unfortunately, you can take it from there. And it was an enclosed booth, and the bride joined her in a few of the photos.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an outdoor wedding. They had like a huge barbecue trailer, and the drink of the evening was moonshine. So kind of tells you where that whole event went.
Yeah.
We were set up in a garage underneath an old 32 Ford pickup truck.
Oh my God.
That was up on a lift. And it was a wonderful night. The bride kind of told me ahead of time. She's like, listen, things are going to get a little out of hand. She goes, if you need to stop for whatever reason, she goes, I understand. But I have to say, it was probably one of my top 5 events because people were just laughing so hard. And once, you kind of understood what was happening, then, it just encouraged other things to happen in there. So, we all have that one event, obviously.
Well, here's a question that actually just popped into my head. With the instant shooting up to the cloud, what do we do in that situation? And we know they're wasted. And a lot of times they're getting these pictures texted to them with a link to the gallery. How, like, what do we do?
I remove them from any gallery.
Okay.
The bride got all the pictures, and then there was a separate folder with any of the unique ones, the special ones.
Okay.
They were in there separate from the main folder.
That makes sense.
And that was before, you could text there was no to the cloud. It was just strictly, this is your photo booth. This is your print. Here you go. And, we'll email you a Dropbox link to all your photos afterward.
Shame on me, because I have one event this summer where that happened, and it's still sitting there in the gallery. So I'm going to go delete that. But so I take all the photos. Yeah, I take all the photos out of the gallery and put it up on my Smug Mug anyway, and then I send the client my Smug Mug because it has all the individual photos of strips, so they get everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, I better take
Well,
that
you know,
down.
everyone watching now wants the link to that art.
You're not getting it. Not getting it. Oh my
Now
God.
everybody's going to try and find your Smug Mug link, and
Nope. Everything is private, protected, and unlisted. Not going to find it.
right.
Oh,
But like the first time I ever had that happen was right after I started my business. I did a prom for a high school in New Jersey,
mhm.
and they wanted the enclosed booth, and I had like all the girls were coming out of the booth like laughing.
Oh no.
I didn't stay in the booth. I let them go in, said, listen, just touch the screen and everything will start for you. And then I saw some of the pictures coming out, and I'm like, whoa. I said, you do realize the school is getting a copy of all these photos? And they're like, we don't care. We're graduating. So, they just had this like nonchalant like attitude about it. Like,
That's
oh,
crazy.
well.
Yeah. So did you removed them anyway, right?
I removed them.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say.
Yeah. And those were ones I didn't keep, for
So you-
particular reasons too.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you keep some?
That whole gallery got deleted, or those photos, the special photos, got
Mhm.
deleted before I even left the venue. And then I gave the school like a flash drive that night of all the pictures that didn't have those people in it.
Yeah.
But it were probably like maybe 20 pictures.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It probably stopped right. It had to have like got slowed down after you mentioned that, right?
No. I mean, I then kind of told them, listen, don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But there were already multiples in there, from three or four. I think they had a four photo strip selected for there. I mean, that was even before like graphics. All it said was just the school name at the bottom of the print. Literally, I'd only been doing this for a couple months, and that was just something that I just didn't realize. That was my first encounter with that. So,
yeah.
So vintage, or wooden booth, right? Enclosed booth. What else? What else is popping up, Dave?
I've seen the arcade style booths. They're kind of circling around again.
That's bulky though. You got to like bring a truck.
It is. And you can fit them in a minivan. I have a modified Kingdom one that I can lay down in the back of my Grand Caravan or Town and Country, sorry. And it's heavy, yeah. But I mean, I can lay it down and bring it out and that stuff. The 360, I kind of see that fading away more and more. I still get requests for it. I'm getting more requests, but when I give them my pricing, they're like, "Yeah, no, we don't need it that bad." So
yeah, well, I think with the 360, it's like, and we've talked about this, touched on this so many times, that there are just so many of them out there. And if you go on Amazon, you can get one for like less than $1,000 now. I know it's the cheapest thing in the world.
I am seeing them on Facebook Marketplace, like used ones, from anywhere from $250 to like $500.
Yeah, and they're also renting them out for like $200 for an event.
Yeah.
So sad.
And it's I tell people, listen, I charge a lot more than a lot of companies. I charge less than some others. So, I market it. It's there if you want it. If not, that's okay. It can sit in my garage, or my storage unit till the event comes up or till I get.
And that's another one I've been tossing around in my head. Should I get one? And I'm just like, I just don't want the hassle, and I don't want to have to be dealing with the prices. And I know you've got one. We talked about, that this before where I thought I was going to get one, but I just don't. And I've had one request for it.
Right.
In the time since it's ever been open. It's like, you got a 360. I'm like, yeah, I could find somebody. And they're like, well, we only would pay $300. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find anybody for you at that price.
Right. Well, and I do a lot of white labeling for other companies and DJs.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing to them is they just don't want the hassle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it takes extra liability insurance. You know, it is a pain in the ass sometimes, but you know, it's a fun thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I just did a wedding a couple weeks ago up in the Poconos at Stroudmoor for another DJ company, and I was outside the entire night. It was beautiful out.
Yeah, I think I saw that picture. You had one booth off to the side, and then you had the 360 next to it. Is that the one you were talking about?
That was a different one.
I saw the one you're talking about, though, Art. I did see that photo too.
Yeah.
So you're not getting into 360s, right, Danny?
Nope.
Good. Stay far away from it. Run.
That is a decision I made like 4 years ago, and I'm sticking with it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Honestly, the liability scares me. It just really does. Even, not even the fact that I'm renting them out, but just the fact that we're the manufacturer then. I just don't have an interest in it at all.
Do you got some other products that's brewing in your head there?
Maybe.
For the photo booth industry?
Yes,
the
photo booth industry at the moment, we just released quite a few new booths.
I know.
I don't think there's anything really coming new for that.
I do like your wall mount setup.
I mean, I've always said that you can do that since I first released the Mobile Max, 5 years ago, but I never actually set one up. So I ordered a Vesta mount the other day, and I set it up in our showroom. It's actually pointed right at our main DJ setup in our showroom, and it actually works out really well. I set the timer to be a 10-second timer, so I can hit start and then go around the back of the booth and take a photo with someone. I also got a remote clicker that I could do it remotely to start the photo session too. I haven't even connected that yet.
How's that work?
It's nice. And what's that?
How does that work?
It's a feature of Curator.
I did not know that. See, learn something new.
It's a special feature. It's not in there by default. But because it's not really used. You really don't have a use for that so much. But that is something you can do with that software.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So talk to James if I want to get that enabled. Got it.
Yep.
Got it. A lot of different software companies have been popping up. Not really popping up, but I guess more pushing. Very interesting to see that. And even like PC based, right? There's so much stuff that you can do with like Breeze he just keeps pumping out different experiences. I think the one thing that I really like is the AI that he pushed out with the comic book or the superhero feature. I don't know did any of you guys see that yet?
I think I saw a photo of it, but I haven't done too much research on it.
Yeah. So have you had any AI experiences lately, Dave, that you've been pushing out? Any interest in that?
I haven't. People don't really understand it. I've had it as an option for some events.
Okay.
But people really don't understand it, And then when they see it, they're like, "Oh, that's really neat." But it's not something that like I'm getting calls for. I think what we need is something, like a big celebrity event or something like that, where AI gets used,
right?
And that'll push it. That'll push it then as requests out into our neck of the woods.
Okay.
I mean, it's cool. I show it to people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's neat." And depending on what you're using or what you're showing, there's a lot of times where the AI picture looks, doesn't always look like the person.
Yeah, AI is not. It's not perfect.
No.
It's getting better. I think the curator one is pretty darn good for the most part. I've taken some pretty fun photos with it, but I don't know if I really see it at a wedding or something like that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, they just want the regular pictures for the
Yeah.
most part at these
A
events.
corporate activation or something else, yeah, I think AI is more applicable. But for the vast majority of events that most people, I think, in the photo booth industry are doing are weddings and special events like that. I don't
Mhm.
see AI as much. Just my opinion. I could be wrong,
Right.
but that's kind of what I think.
So, Dave, I see behind you, you have a big logo. Did you work? Is that? Have I seen that before? Is that part? Like,
You-
or am
you
I
might
dumb?
have.
I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
Believe it or
Right?
not, I was going through some old files.
Yeah.
This was the original logo for the Photo Booth Network.
Oh wow.
Do you still have is the Photo Booth Network Plus still a group? I haven't looked in it in a while.
It is.
That's
It
still
is.
there?
What?
I don't
Oh,
know if
tell me,
anybody's
what
even
is-
in it.
What is that?
You don't know what that is?
No. What is that?
Oh.
So way back when, this was the early days of the Photo Booth Network.
Mhm.
There were a group of people that, like the more advanced photo booth operators, were upset with all the newbies and all the new questions and all that, and they wanted somewhere for themselves. So I created the Photo Booth Network Plus, and you had to have been in the business for at least 3 years to get into that group.
Okay.
And it got used for a while, and then there was a professional group that kind of made its way, that a lot of them moved into.
Did it come with bottle service?
It did. I think the professional one did, yeah.
Okay.
but it,
Look what I just pulled up on my phone.
Oh my God! Look at that.
it's been there. I haven't gone into it in, I can't tell you when the last
Years.
time.
Yeah, I haven't either. But there's a post from August 30th in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it what country is it from?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it looks more like an ad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about this group though, just until now. Yeah.
There are so many groups. And you know what? Even like in the DJ world, you got like new ones popping up, and they promise to be the exclusive group where all the junk posts don't happen.
Right.
After like a few months go away, it just comes right in there too.
So Rachel Lynch started that group, the DJ Help Desk, and
How's
I
that
feel
one
like
going?
they're actually doing a nice job with that group.
Okay,
And keeping
good.
it under control. And I think that's a really good group. But you're right. There are so many different groups out there. So many DJ groups, so many photo booth groups. Photo Booth Network being the OG, the original.
Yeah.
But
And you actually had one this summer. Well, no, it was in like May. Someone changed, and it's a company. I'm not going to say who the company was, but they changed their company page to the Photo Booth Network. They changed it to the same name. I'm like,
Yep.
What? They were trying to piggyback off of the Photo Booth Network.
I remember that. I won't mention names either.
Pictures. Yeah. And I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and they were very apologetic, and they couldn't change it for 30 days because it's some kind of thing with Facebook.
Yeah.
So he's like, Dave, he goes, give me 30 days. And literally 31st day, he messaged me and said, Dave, it's changed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
hey, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
We've all been known to make them. So,
well, I mean, there's two photo booth communities. There's the one that Ursula and Sam run, and then there's the Chinese people that all they do is advertise their Chinese booths.
That's all it is. And I'm in that group. Somehow there's like 50,000 members in that group, so it's just a whole bunch of people that have.
Well, they just go in and add people.
Yeah.
From other groups.
Yeah.
And people, and a lot of people join thinking that it's
the
Sam
other group.
And Sam and Ursula's group, the photo booth marketing. But I've always tried to kind of keep our group, the network, separate, and I watch from time to time
Yeah.
when it pops up.
Yeah, I try to, because like I'm a mod for Photo Booth Network, and thank you Dave for letting me do that. I'm like always squashing something. Matter of fact, there's something on there now that kind of needs to be squashed. It's this robot thing, a reel, and we know it's an a vendor, just like trying to get away with just not saying that it's an ad, but it's definitely an ad.
I've been monitoring it, so yeah. And there's been a lot of the Chinese companies that have been coming in. I'll give them the opportunity. Listen, if they want to follow the Monday vendor rules like we have,
yep,
I'll let them do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there are a couple that are in there that they don't post, or they'll occasionally post.
Well, they're looking for ideas to make the next product.
Right.
I'm guilty of breaking your rule, and this was completely my bad.
Danny, everybody is.
It was the day after Labor Day,
and
I was not paying attention to what day it was. It felt like a Monday to me, and I made a Monday post, and actually the post was going really, really well because it was a thing of our showroom and everything. And then one of your admins did take it down, and I completely get it because I even hashtagged Vendor Monday, and I believed that it was Monday.
Right.
But it was not.
I get that because Photo Booth Magazine is Thursdays. Their vendor day is Thursdays.
Photo Booth Magazine.
You mean community.
Photo Booth community.
Yep.
Sorry, Photo Booth community. And there's many times on a Thursday where vendors will post and it was the hashtag Vendor Thursday. I'm like, yeah, that's
wrong
not
group. That's what I mean. There's too many groups. Too many. Yeah.
But it's a lot to keep up with. We don't post every Monday or Thursday either. We post when we have something relevant. I'm not just going to spam the group for anything. Like we didn't do a post yesterday. Not yesterday. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm off by a day again.
Right.
I didn't do a post on Monday.
It's the protein drinks. Lay off the sauce, Danny.
I'm doing like 175 grams of protein a day. So
holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, a lot of groups. What else? What else has been going on?
There's been so much. And I listen, I have to give Lap and Jason
we got to get them on.
Because their podcasts that they've been doing have just been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And if anybody gets a chance to listen to them, if you really want to, if you're driving or exercising, listen to one of the podcasts that they have going on. It's just, they're awesome.
Danny, have you listened to it yet? Have you listened to?
No,
Jason?
I haven't.
You should.
Yeah. No, I try to stay relevant. I try to stay and watch everything. I just haven't had the opportunity. It's been insanely busy here.
It's just really good topics, and it's just like an open book. Kind of, sort of like what we do, but they're a little bit more organized. But it's great. I'd say a lot more organized. But I'll tell you what.
When is it? When do they do it?
Well, he just posts them out. So they record them all in the span of like a week, and then he just releases them over time. Or Lap and Jason, they release them over time. But like that's what I'm listening to on my walk. So I do like I do at least 2 miles a day in the morning with the dog. So I'm listening to at least an episode and a half of their stuff. So that's kind of what pushes me. So they're kind of somewhat partially responsible for me on my weight loss because they're pushing me to walk further so I can listen to the rest of the episode.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah. It's a Lap and Jason weight loss program. That's what I'm calling it. So, but that's a really good episode, really good podcast.
They've got some really, really good episodes going.
Yeah. And I like how they have it on Podbean. So if you guys watch and want to find it, you can go. It's an app. Podbean. It's a podcasting app. That's where you can find it. They have a YouTube channel. And it inspired me. I want to actually extract all of our episodes, and I'm going to get a Podbean membership and upload all our stuff onto there as well, because I think it's just great. It's so accessible.
The website is proboothtalk.com.
Yeah. Yep. And they also have a Facebook group.
Yes.
Oh, I don't think I'm in that Facebook group. I should.
You should be in there. Yeah.
Hold on. What's it called?
ProBoothTalk.com or
Yeah,
Pro Booth Talk is
Hold
the
on,
name
let me
of
see
the
if I can find it. Hold on, I'll pop it up so anybody's watching.
Pro Booth Talk Community. Is that it?
Yes, that's
That's it. Yep.
So,
All right, I lied. I'm in the group. Okay.
see, too many groups.
There's not too many groups you're not in, Danny.
It's a little crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, the most recent episode is on virtual assistants, which is great. I had not listened to that, so that's tomorrow morning. I'm going to be listening to that one, and I've tinkered around in my head with it. Do I need a virtual assistant? Because I am really busy now, more so than ever. And I kind of think I would like one, but I don't have time to train one, so I need to listen to that and get some tips on it. The virtual assistant. You guys, Danny, you and Iris, do you need a virtual assistant yet? With all the
Iris is full time, so she really handles everything.
She does
in the office, the back end, really, really well. I don't think we need a virtual assistant at this point.
Yeah, there's nothing better, and that's one of the things about you guys. It's like, it's not somebody else. It's you are talking to Danny. You're talking to Iris.
If you call our phone number, only 2 people will answer, myself or Iris. So you're going to get one of us. I'll be honest. I don't answer the phone.
Iris.
What's that?
I said it's mostly Iris.
That's what I was going to say. I'll be honest. I don't really answer the phone too often because I'm in the shop and I'm doing other things. And then once in a while, when I do answer the phone, and so a lot of times I get this response, wait, am I talking to the Danny Max? I get that a lot. And it's actually kind of nice. It's flattering. But most of the time, you're going to get Iris on the phone. And she honestly knows our products just as well as I, if not better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does. Like, sometimes I'll ask her, what's the weight? She's like, rattles off the weight or the dimensions. She doesn't even have to look at a spreadsheet. I'm like, geez, man, that's like at the top of her head.
Yep. Yeah, she knows her shit.
So did you guys see that that email that went out about that expo and that's supposed to happen in Atlantic City?
Well, so they listed you're the one that did it, Art. You asked what vendors are going to be there. And all they did was list the vendors that they invited. Yeah. So it wasn't even like they're and we were on that list, but no, I can't imagine that we're going to be doing that. I don't know what's going on.
It's on a Friday and a Saturday in November.
The only plus is the fact that I live so close. Mm-hmm. And that's really the only plus to it. But I don't know. Well, Dave, didn't you reach out and like Golden Nugget doesn't know about it?
I do quite a bit of events in Atlantic City. And I do have a friend that is very high up at Golden Nugget. I know people in almost all the casinos.
Mr. Nugget.
And he said that there is like absolutely nothing official with them for those dates.
So basically that person put out a feeler to see if he would get any interest and then might do it if there was some interest. I guess that's what happened.
Right.
I typically don't do first year shows because everyone promises the world, it's the best attended photo booth show you're going to go to. How do you know that?
Yeah.
You haven't done it before. How do you know that? There was a wedding show that kept trying to get us to do it in Florida. And they're saying that, it's going to be this great show. And we're expecting so many people. I said, so what was your attendance last year? Well, it's our first show. So how can you say how many people are going to come to this show? So I typically will wait till the second year to see if it is actually something that will happen.
I got invited to speak at that one last year. And then I told her, no, I just can't. And this year she reached out to me to be a vendor and for the advertising agency. And I'm like, well, how many people do you normally get? Well, we didn't get that many people this year. And I'm like, well, and then I reminded her of who I was and said, well, you actually told me it was canceled. So what's the truth here? So she was lying between her teeth on that one.
Yeah.
So I think that would be interesting, though, to have an East Coast one because the Photo Booth Expo is great I love it. I love it dearly. But it would be nice to have an East Coast one. I think that
There
would.
was going to be that one in 2020
got
that
canceled.
Ismail was running. It was going to be in New York City. We were
then COVID.
registered. We were one of the silver sponsors or whatever. And then COVID happened and the show got canceled. I'd love to see that show come back. I would love to do that. I think an East Coast show would be great.
Yeah. Well, we also have all the micro groups, right? So Chit Chat Photo Booth, she has her stuff going around. Super Boothers had their like little micros, which is kind of cool.
Well, I plan on having a get together somewhat soon at our warehouse and our showroom, and get a lot of people together and maybe make a day thing out of it or something. Nothing crazy, but I would like to get some of the local people to our area: Philly, Baltimore, Washington D.C., even New York. It's an easy day trip to where we're at.
That's a great idea.
That is kind of in the works. Just planning out logistics of it and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely want to do it, especially now that we have our showroom set up and we have the space for it.
Like an open house kind of thing.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I'll get some catering. I'll get some food. Everyone can just come down, meet some people, chat, maybe have a DJ or two perform, or even a social thing at night.
Yeah, get CDL certified while we're there.
Yeah. No.
There's nothing like the Danny Max original get together picnic.
That was, I completely forgot about that. That was fun. Art, you never came to that. But there was a couple of years that in New York, I hosted a barbecue at my house, and we got, I think the best attendance was probably maybe 30 or 40 people one year. And it was a lot of fun. It really was. Dave, you and Denny came.
Yep.
And a lot of the New York people, George Velasco was there, Rudy. And yeah, that was always fun.
Leah was there. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think of who else. Yeah, there were. Did Sharon make it?
No. Thomas, the guy that used to build some booths. I can't think of his last name. He was there. Owen actually came. Owen Blevins came 1 year. Yeah, that was fun. That certainly was.
That was a lot of fun.
Rob Savickas came.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, he came down from Canada just for the barbecue.
Holy cow, that's great.
Yeah,
man. All right, so yeah, let's get the word on when you're going to be doing that. I'll my ears to the ground, Danny.
Yeah, I really would love to do it. I think we're in a nice central location that we hit a lot of the big metro areas at this point, and I really would love to have some people come down.
Yeah, maybe get a poker game while we're at it.
Well, I'm always up for that.
I'm not playing poker, especially if Min is anywhere nearby, because he always sits next to me, and that's it.
Oh my gosh. The PB&J, and I'm not talking about the sandwich. That's another group that has run by Shane Sen. Mm-hmm. That was really cool. So Dave, you've been there a few times. I was there just once. It was very intimate.
PB&J. You said PB. Yeah. Oh yeah, PB&J. Never mind.
Yeah, PB&J.
You just said it faster than I was thinking.
Yeah. I do that sometimes. I'll speak really slow. But it was fun because it was held in his office in Jersey. And there was probably when I was there, was there maybe like 15 or so local photo boothers. Yeah,
around 20 people.
And it was just great because, again, I love expos, but when we get a smaller group together, it's just more intimate and you can share ideas back and forth. Like we talked about marketing, we talked about website, we talked about how you handle leads, CRMs a little bit. Everybody learned something, including myself, which I'm always learning, but it was just cool. I love those types of situations. At Photo Booth Expo, Sharon's Chit Chat, right? That little room with like 10 people in it, you could just pop in and pop out. Yeah. It was just awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, looking forward to yours, Danny.
I think it's nice that you can kind of the smaller groups, kind of like when we used to have the PBPI, our little expos and things like that. It was nice because we limited it to so many people. Vendors, we only had, I think, we only let like 5 or 6 vendors in.
Yeah.
kind of made it a little bit more exclusive. But I mean, the focus was on the learning, and that's the thing, is having content that interests people and is relevant.
hmm I think
You
the
know,
people, it's the people engaging with one another.
Mhm.
I think that's
Yeah,
like at Marquee Show, right? It wasn't a really huge show, but the little breakout sessions I was in, including yours, Danny, it was just so valuable to sit there with other business owners and just sponge, right? Just learn and give ideas to. And a lot of people talk about the seminars aren't great, and it's about the connections that you make at these expos and really get to pique each other's brains. I think that's if you can do that at these expos or even small groups, that's where the value is really at,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Agreed.
well, the Pittsburgh show that Danny and I were both at. Um, I get calls from people all the time from that one. I mean, I made some great connections there, and I even posted the video in the group. Um, that of my little seminar,
Yep.
not my seminar, but my little presentation. But I did a breakout seminar too, and wound up, with the dark room booth, and then James going in and talking about Curator too.
Yeah, I was there. I watched both of those. And that was a good show. I did enjoy it. It was small, intimate, but it was good. They're doing it again. We're registered for it. We will be there.
When is that one again?
January sometime.
January.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if it's in my calendar. I can check.
Is it during the week or the weekend?
It was during the week, I think.
During the week. Okay, that's cool. I wouldn't be opposed to going up to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't have it in my calendar, but we are doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I drove. It wasn't that bad of a drive for me. Probably about 4.5, 5 hours or so. Really wasn't bad at all.
That's like the worst time of the year to travel in central Pennsylvania with snow and stuff like that. So you guys must have got lucky.
I think didn't it snow like the day the day it started, or the day
there was a lot of snow on the ground. There really was. Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah. But I'll also be going up to Boston in December, and that can be just as bad too.
Mm-hmm. That's the Harvest
so you're
of
going
Sound.
to the Harvest of Sound?
Yeah, we've done that every year so far. We'll be there again this year.
I've heard a lot of good things about that. I was actually considering going up to that. Yeah,
come on up. Seriously. Yeah, Art, you maybe want to consider it too.
Yeah, one of my friends, you guys know Chris Marks. He's going, and he's kind of reminded me that that's happening. I'm thinking about doing it. I guess I got to make sure I take a look at my schedule, because it's like I get some corporate events that happen in the middle of the week, and not all of my staff is available because they work regular jobs too, and they've got kids. So I'll have to double check and see what that schedule looks like.
Let me see if I do. I have that in my I do have that in my calendar. So that's the 2nd through the 4th of December.
The 2nd through the 4th. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Writing it down. All right, cool. I'll double check that. So, well, this was a nice getting back together.
Thanks for having me on. I'm glad I messaged you 5 minutes before it started.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too. Because again, we've been off for a while, and that really, I think I needed a breather. It was just we were doing week after week after week. And I was like, you know what? Let's just take a little break, take a step back, and come back. And here we are.
Listen, I'm happy to come on anytime you want. If you just, I'm not here to always promote my products and all that. I'm here to just BS and chat and have fun with you guys. So
I know, and
this is the type of stuff, that really, I think, kind of helps build the industry. I mean, we're always looking for guests, people in the industry, whether it be a vendor or just even a regular photo booth owner.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody's interested, reach out to Art or myself, and we'd love to have you on.
Yeah, we've got a few that I've been talking to, actually, Dave. So I talked about Simeon Margaritas. He wants to come on the show. Another person that I know wants to come on, who actually worked at the Wedding Wire, and wants to kind of give us the inside track of like when she worked there, how things were, and her thoughts on that. And she's also a photo booth owner,
Nice.
so it's a dual sword with that one. Check Cherry, they want to come on. A few others. So, and I want to get Lap and Jason on the show too.
Yeah.
So we've got a nice line. I just got to I'm so all over the place the last few weeks that I need to write it down and set a time in my calendar and call these people up. And you too, Dave. Like we need to kind of have our own little powwow and like take action. Let's take action.
Well, I mean, you were busy. I was busy. Yeah, it's life. It's life and business.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a family. I've got a family. That's part of working all the different phases.
And we're so lucky to even have this on. So, the fact that we can come on here whenever we want and get people on like Danny and all the other knowledge experts and industry experts, and even some people who are just average Joes like us, just doing our own little personal think tank here live. And what's our own personal interventions live in front of everybody.
So yeah, we wanted to talk to you about something since we have you.
Yes, I do love Legos a lot, and I have a lot of them. Most of them are in the garage now.
I'll send you a picture of my basement art. You'll be like, "Oh my god!"
I'm gonna have to come over. I got to go over to Dave's house.
Yep.
We'll
I'll send you a picture. You're gonna be like, "Oh my god, Dave, you have a problem."
Well, did you see the one time I have it? Hold on to that thought for a second. I'll be right back. I'm not kidding. Hold on. Where'd it go? Is it still here? It is.
Oh, is he grabbing his little DJ booth?
Yeah, dude. So I even made my own Danny Max Lego.
I love that thing.
Yeah, so it's got.
You know what you need to do is a little bit of stop motion. You need to make like a little DJ video.
So the next, I want to make some of the photo booths next. So yeah, dude, I'm a geek through and through. So, but all right, well, let's wrap it up. This was a good soft landing to bring us into the fall, and we look forward to the next few episodes. Throughout the rest of the year.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on again. And like I said, anytime you want, I'm happy to hop on.
Awesome. Thanks, Danny.
Thanks,
all right.
Danny.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you hopefully soon.
Next week, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We're gonna get some people lined up. Some more topics. I have topics. We do have topics, but we didn't want to cram them into one episode.
So, right.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.